Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another show of the Beyond Grad Show. Today, I'm doing something really interesting. I'm going to do what I call hot seats. So, I gave a call out to people who are on my email list and on online and asked if they wanted to be here present in the hot seat where I can talk to them for 10-15 minutes, see what kind of opportunities they are trying to get either on LinkedIn or in their job search. And then I'm trying to help them in this hot seat session, help them take some next steps. So I already have a few people who were interested in joining. I have a couple already in the waiting room. So I'll bring them one after the other, and then I'll have a hot seat session with them. This is a new experiment. So if you are following me live, then please let me know in the chat of the platform that you're joining us from, either LinkedIn or YouTube. Let me know that you are following. Say hi, say where you're from, ask questions during the session. This is there's a strong reason why I'm doing this live, and the biggest reason is that it can be interactive. So for the first hot seat session, I am going to bring in Sabby. Sabby and I. Hey Sabby, what's up?
Hey, Warren. Great to be here.
Awesome. So Sabby and I have worked together recently, so I know a bit more about him than what other people might. But Savvy, can you give us all a quick introduction, and then we will dig into an opportunity that you're trying to get and solve it together.
Awesome. Yeah. Hi, everybody. I'm Sabi. I'm based out of West Coast here in the US. Um, Currently working in big tech, transitioning out to possibly a small to mid-size company. Um, I've been working with Varun for the last 2 months. Um, Especially enjoyed the experience. So looking forward to the conversation today.
Awesome. So Savvy, tell us what I asked you for a problem statement to come in here with. And what is that problem statement? What are you trying to solve either on LinkedIn or in the job search?
Yeah, I actually have a few problem statements. I think number one is how do I build in, sort of like a thought product leadership kind of a brand on LinkedIn, um, so that I can, instead of going out there to look for jobs, um, I actually have people reaching out to me, like, hey, you look great. Would love to would love to work with you or love to have you work at our company. And then secondly, I'm a founder as well. Recently started to tinker a bit with AI. Everybody is a creator, entrepreneur in this world now. So looking forward to, building a presence on LinkedIn for my company without giving too much away, but at the same time also, keep one foot in the day job industry, if you will.
Awesome. I am trying to make sure that I have a lower third that is helpful for everybody who's joining in to see what we are doing. So, two problem statements, right? There is one, how do you make sure that you are a thought leader in the product space so that opportunities come to you rather than you seeking them out? And then the other is that we all have ventures that we are doing, side projects that we would like to shine a bright light on, especially as we start to get into creation and production. I think that is great. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for being here. And I know we've worked with each other, so I'm almost feeding you into this hot seat. But I thought this would be a great idea for everybody present and watching as well. So I think those two problem statements are slightly different. Let's talk about the first one, which is how do I create a brand out there that helps me get more opportunities? Have you ever written on LinkedIn in the past? Give me kind of what your experience has been with the platform.
Yeah, as is the case with most people, I don't post that much, or rarely or ever. I think I've posted maybe 2 or 3 posts in the last 3, 4 years. I think the last post was end of last year. I was tinkering with AI, built something, and then I shared it. It got pretty good traction, um, but then I haven't gone back. And I think part of that is imposter syndrome. Part of that is also not coming across as fake AI slop. Um, I want to look genuine and honest. And there's a lot of posts out there that seem very marketing. So maybe a slightly different kind of fears compared to folks that are in the room watching this. But yeah,
I wouldn't say they're different. I think I had the same ones, right? Imposter syndrome, whether do I really have anything of value to say? And then the other one is essentially about quality and about the terms that are associated with us that are quality driven. So is this really something that is helpful? Are you a top performer? Do you speak like one? Do you write like one? They are quite common. So let me ask you another question, which is if we look at people creating content out there in your space, because you are trying to go for product management, who are the people that inspired you?
so just so I'm understanding this right, your question is um, who are some of the leaders out there that I look up to in the product management
Yeah,
space?
look up to and are creating content around the topic.
Okay, yeah. I can drop some names. I think Peter Yang is one that I follow very closely. Um, Definitely Akash Gupta, yourself. Uh, um, Also, I follow uh, uh, pretty much a lot of the folks that are tinkering with AI. Um, and then I follow leaders like Dara Khusro Shahi, um, CEO of Uber. Um, and I follow a lot of leaders from the big tech in the product industry. So some of them don't post as often, um, versus others that actually post on a daily basis.
So I think you can play that game, right? You can play the game of posting consistently and you can play the game of posting infrequently but still consistently over the entire course of the year. I think whenever you're starting out, you would rather lean towards posting more as you are finding your voice, as you're finding your platform, as you're experimenting with what it means, what posting means for you. So, coming back to the holdups that you've had in the past, which is imposter syndrome, or maybe even in the present, imposter syndrome and quality. Let's take one person that you're really inspired by. Can you tell me how you feel they are uh, showing up genuinely, authentically, and with high quality content?
I don't think I have a great example at the top of my head, um,
Hmm.
but I think something that um, when I think of a genuine post from somebody that I follow, uh, it usually means this is a real world problem. Like this is a
Mhm.
genuine problem that they're talking about. Um, and it is something that they personally have dealt with.
Mhm.
And they come out with solutions that are easy to implement, or they come up with
Mhm.
brainstorming ideas that are easy to engage with.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if that that is what you were asking for. Let me know if I can expound.
No, actually, that's a great starting point. What you are saying is they are showing up with real world problems and creating solutions or sharing solutions that are applicable, that are also real world. So let's talk about you. Tell me, give me three real world problems that you solved in your career.
Yeah, I think two on a two on a professional level, one on a personal level. I'll mix it up, make it more fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I think one is the thing that I'm trying to do right now. I think it's a problem that can be solved. It's a problem that exists out there. All of us love to travel, uh, but we are looking to optimize our wallet, you know, figure out what is the best way for our family to move from one place to another, whether it's for fun, whether it's for, you know, meeting family back home. Some of us are immigrants here. Um, so I'm trying to build basically a company from ground up that provides a solution that sits at the intersection of fintech and travel tech. Um, and I imagine that this is a space that is ripe for disruption. Um, so built a team of 12 people, and we are looking to come up with an MVP here for initial list of users in the next few weeks. So that's one. Um,
Hmm.
Second one, I think on a professional level, I've spent the last 10 years of my professional journey building solutions that millions of sellers use, retail sellers use, uh, to basically move inventory from one place to another within the Amazon supply chain system. Um, and I basically built a solution that was able to provide real-time capacity information so that things were able to be moved on time, which meant that you as a consumer buying stuff on Amazon.com in this case were able to find the stuff that you wanted instead of having it out of stock and have it delivered to your home within hours. Um, big problem space, uh, lot of tech architecture stuff that needed to be unwinded and built from scratch. And then thirdly, on the fun side, I actually built an outdoor fish pond from scratch. Built it over a weekend. Inherited an old fish pond that we broke it when we bought our house many years ago. Um, and that happened to be one of the proudest achievements in my life. Just a fun thing to do. It looks gorgeous. Um, I've lost a lot of fish to blue heron over the last few years, but it's definitely every time I get out of my house, it's the first thing that anybody sees, or when they come knock on our door, this is the first thing that they see. So it gives me joy and happiness, and I think that's what life is all about.
So I think this is great because now I can share a strategy that will help you create content around these problems. So you said that the people you follow, what you like about them are real world problems and real world solutions that they've created. You shared three problems that you're trying to solve. Think of this entire framework as hub and spokes. So that problem is the hub, and imagine all the different spokes that you can get out of that to create like this content wheel and help you move forward. And these can be, each of these can be hubs and spokes, right? Now the fish pond might have just one or two or three spokes that come out of it, whereas the Amazon one or solving an actual shipment issue can have multiple. Your right now the founder problem that you're trying to solve can have multiple spokes as well. Let me give you an example. So if you take your travel solution that helps people kind of save on their wallet and travel more and travel frequently, you can talk about why it was important for you to create a solution for this. What was inexistent in the market that you couldn't find that's the reason again why you created. You can talk about the tools that you're using to create the solution. You can talk about, you mentioned 12 people. I mean, those are three, four spokes in itself. Like, how did you find these people? What are the functions of these people? Are you guys project managing this project? And then you can talk about your code. You can talk about how you're acquiring customers, how you are selling, how you're monetizing. The spokes are endless, but it all comes down to what is the hub, and then you can just try to create posts around that hub, and that can be spokes in here. How does that sound? Does it bring up any questions?
It does. Thank you so much. I think that that definitely resonates. I can definitely see what I can do with this. Um, I think one question I have is, how do I talk about what I'm building without giving away too much?
I think that's a good question because a lot of people are also creating content around their domain expertise, and they can't really use specific examples from their workplace to create content. I think one unique way to do that is to create cases or to piggyback on cases that are already public in the market. You can also piggyback on news that are out there, news articles about a particular topic, and you can say, okay, here's how I would create how I would solve this logistical problem as a PM in supply chain. So you might need to be creative where you're not talking about a specific problem, but you're talking specifically about that problem. I mean, there's nuance there. Like, for example, I don't need to talk about the linen shirt that I bought from Andaman, which is a very cool brand in India, but I can talk about linen shirts in general and the production of linen shirts and how they are made and why are they helpful, etc. So I know that's an analogy, but maybe that is where a little bit of creativity comes in as to how you can speak about things without sharing a lot of IP information.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That makes sense.
I'll give you another idea. You name dropped a few people who talk specifically about the product space or who are founders. So, to give a couple examples as you're starting this founder journey, I think the two people who run Whisper Flow are doing really well when it comes to how they are using their company and creating a founder led brand on LinkedIn and helping Whisperflow get more signups. Another example, which is not a SaaS tool, but a creator B2B agency. There's a guy called AJ Eckstein on LinkedIn, and he has a company called Creator Match. And you can
Mm.
see how he is creating founder led content by going to conferences, talking about brands, talking about what creators are doing. So, another way to find ideas without and seeing how other people are handling this objection is to just reverse engineer what they are doing and how they are talking about their product, how much are they sharing, how much are they not. There are enough examples out there already that we can reverse engineer from. And while you are in the process of reverse engineering, you will bend some rules, you will change a few things, and that's where the originality piece comes from. And this is not my theory. It is from my favorite book called Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. He talks about how when painters were painting in the Renaissance era, the reason why they were really good was they all learned from each other. And you basically learn from getting inspired by a lot of people. And the parts where you can't really copy, that's where your originality comes from. So I know I'm giving you a few stuff. So let me just paraphrase for you and everybody hearing this. Hub and spoke. So the hub is the problem that you have solved, and then spokes can be different topics that come out of that problem. That's one method. The other method of sharing without really talking specifically about IP involves a little bit of creativity, and you can always reverse engineer how the top people in your industry are doing that.
Very nice. Yeah, I appreciate that. Um, I have one more question, and
Sure.
I think this is probably going to be true for all of us or most of us. So I have the content as you mentioned, um, um, but I haven't published it. I have some
Mm,
ideas. Um, How do I get over that first post fear?
You may not like this answer, but it is the truth of the entire equation is hit publish. You just hit publish.
Okay.
The first time you do it, it's the heaviest click that you've done in your life. Here's something that stops people, and maybe it's helpful for everybody to know. It's called the spotlight effect. Now, everybody feels like there is a spotlight on them, and there is an audience of people watching their every action. I felt that too. You are feeling that as well. The interesting thing about spotlight effect is that everybody feels they are under the spotlight. So essentially, nobody is watching anybody else, especially in the beginning where you haven't really built a brand or a following. That is the most freeing time when you can experiment and you can publish without thinking about it. I started writing in January of 2023. I cannot tell you one post that I have written now in January without looking at my analytics. Probably, maybe I can tell you five, the five most that went viral in that year. And if I don't remember the 300 posts that I wrote in the first year, I cannot ask anybody external to me to remember the 300 posts that I wrote. So it does not matter. The spotlight effect is real, but know that everybody is going through the spotlight effect. We are all looking at ourselves and not at other people. So take that as freedom to hit the publish button and get your journey going. Because who's going to be the biggest advantage to somebody to whom in this entire process is the person under the spotlight. So it writing is going to open up insane amount of doors for you. So even though that first published hit feels very heavy, that is the only way to go from one post to next post. So you can all only be a second time author once you have written your first book.
Got it. Be brave.
Nobody's watching you, at least not in the beginning. So I know that we can talk a lot more, but this is great. Thank you so much for coming in with a LinkedIn posting question that a lot of us think about, especially from the lens of getting more opportunities and then getting more discovery for the projects that we are doing. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Varun.
All right. I am going to move on to somebody else that I see here. So, again, whoever is watching us, watching this live stream and has a question that applies to the hot seat person that I have, then please just add your question in and we'll take it out on real time. I know that there is Pooja who also joined us, so I'm going to bring her next. Hi, Pooja. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Varun. How are you?
I am doing well. Let me just change the lower thirds, and if while I'm doing that, can you just give an introduction to me and everybody listening the recording of this, who you are and why are you here?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Pooja Bhoge. I'm currently based on the West Coast, and I'm originally from Mumbai, India. I'm an industrial designer with a background in architecture, and I work at the intersection of hardware, spatial design, and human-centered experiences. I have led design research, prototyping, and led also like product development from end to end across tech, lighting, interiors, etc. And I enjoyed turning complex problems into intuitive manufacturing solutions.
Very cool. Um, So Pooja and I, again, interesting fact for everybody. I was in San Francisco last week, and Pooja attended a meetup that Sohan Sethi and I hosted. So thank you for attending, Pooja, that meetup. So I do know a little bit more about you. What is the problem statement for the hot seat today?
So today I'm here because I recently lost my job. I think I told you during when we met, and it's kind of like I've been trying to, look up for like the latest job post, at least for like the titles that I am looking for. So I know this is something that I've actually observed past, like in the 2, 3 years that I've been looking, for jobs, that for design roles it's like so hidden, or like it's so hard to find. Like on LinkedIn is properly broke, like it would just repeat you the same postings again and again. Like I can literally see that I've applied it. So I think that was like my biggest thing right now, because like I need to strategize myself, because I have a time ticking that, how do I find the latest postings? I do put like the 24 hours filters, but like even doing that, like I am having problem getting to, new postings. So I was wondering if I could get some help over here, regarding this. Yeah.
First of all, sorry to hear about the job. It's a tough market out there. And to anybody who's watching, I would say that get the job. Once you, if you are in a situation like this, get a job. Make sure that you're landing one. Once you've landed one, make sure this does not happen to you ever again. I mean, you will not be able to control a layoff in the future, but
Yeah.
you want to make sure that the next time you're not starting from the ground floor. Maybe you built a brand by writing on LinkedIn, or not just LinkedIn, there are other platforms as well. So creating in a platform or space where people in your niche hang out, and then building relationships, right? So that is down the line. That is a tomorrow problem. In, I mean, you can start doing that today as well. It's just a more longer tail to get some really good opportunities. I am in my
Mm.
third year of building a brand on LinkedIn, and the opportunities I get now are much different than the first month that I was on, or the second month. So it is a more longer term solution. But coming back to your exact specific question, which is how do I get real time listings, right? LinkedIn 24-hour filter, you can even reduce, like you can go into the browser, you can find that 86,400 number and change it to 3,600. That will give you jobs within the last hour. You increase to
Mm.
7,200 last 2 hours. But I know what you are saying, which is, hey, sometimes industrial engineering roles, design roles don't really come that frequently on LinkedIn. So that is a unique use case, for which the question I will ask you is, do you have like a list of target companies that you would love to work for?
I haven't really made one as such, but since I moved here to California, like I at least know a few companies here and there that I actually did reach out to them via email as well, just to see if they had any, entry level positions right now, because they didn't have anything online presence, like, for jobs. So at least one of them did reply saying that we do not hire entry level, but the rest, like, just nothing. And I think that was also the second part for me, that how do I, like, how do I email someone, like, a cold email, or even a bit personalized, which I've done in my past, but like I never got any reply through. Like at least, someone that could at least help me, if not here, or at least get me connected. I know it's a bit difficult, someone who does not know me also personally, but it's kind of tricky when, you do not meet someone in person and you're asking for help, sort of. So that is my second part.
Relationships are like bank accounts. If you haven't made deposits, hard for you to make a withdrawal, right? So will get into the cold emailing part. The question here first is, again, you are an industrial designer. What are great product companies out there that you would love to work at?
I know there is this one company called Bold Design.
Mhm.
Whipsaw, because I think I have applied almost every internship possible over there, but I never heard back. Um, so a lot of them are mostly like design services agencies, like consultancy, because like they have different clients which they work with for different sort of products, and the product lines they usually have is consumer electronics, and I wanted consultancies mainly at the beginning too, because I back home I did an internship at an architecture place which was a consultancy. So I was familiar with how things work around in that that sort of environment and space. So that is something that I was targeting initially, but like I never heard back from them. And yeah, I and then other few companies, if I have to name, I think one that I came across is Intuitive. It's a medical manufacturing company. Then like I have since I have like a varied experience and skill set, so like I try to look for what do you call, like companies which do products also, but side by side also have some architectural space design work as well. So like that is where like I kind of fit well. So I think these three are what are actually coming to my mind. Rest is like I really don't remember.
The reason
But
why
yeah.
my eyes are darting towards my screen is because I'm trying to find a post for you that will be very helpful. So here's a post. I wonder, like, I'm coming here through Restream, so I wonder, like, where will this be posted? Maybe you'll have to find this on probably YouTube. That I'm sharing this link. Here
Okay.
you'll be able to
Sure.
find a link where you basically can create alerts for companies' career pages. So Google has an alert, basically a product where you
Mm-hmm.
can say that for this particular site, and in that site you can add the careers page of the top company that you're going after, and then in what do you call it, quotation marks, you will
Mm-hmm.
have your job title that you would go after, or in this case it can be just design, or something like that, so that you see all the postings around design. I wouldn't limit to just the agencies. I can totally understand that you're leading with your strength, which is great. I would look at all the amazing consumer electronics companies out there, and I would create an alert for each and every company's career page. So every time a new position opens up or shows up in that careers page, you will get an email from Google saying that a new job listing has opened up. It is not foolproof, it is not 100%. So for a select few companies, you definitely want to just go and manually check if there are new positions that have come up. But the alert system is one really cool way to know real time if new positions are coming up, and then to show up early for that. That's one way to do it. The other way is you have target companies in mind. Start connecting with people who work at those target companies and use what I call the mentor talk strategy. So you're not asking for a referral, you're not asking for a job. You're just trying to understand how they got into that company, how they made decisions in their career, not just for that company, but just their career in general. Essentially, they are mentors. So you're talking to a mentor, 90% you're asking them questions, invariably 10% they will come back to you. And that time you can say exactly what you're looking forward to doing. So I gave you an alert system. You talked about intuitive. Again, 3 years into this, I already have worked with somebody who's at Intuitive. You, I also know somebody called Sushant Vora, who is a creator on
Yeah.
LinkedIn, who's in the industrial design space. I would show up in that person's comment, build a relationship. He leads a group called Young Designer India. I would go in the group. I know there are many people in the US in that group. You see what I'm getting towards, which is here on this side. get alerts for 50 companies that are great consumer electronics products or medical products, like you said. And then I would go the network way as well to see, okay, how do I get into these pockets of industrial designers? And you can always reverse engineer also the companies they've worked at, and it will give you additional companies to target. So you see how this is an entire loop where if you
Yeah.
reverse engineer people in your space, you come to know other companies that they've worked at that you never even knew existed. I was learning, like, or I have a 14-year automotive engineering career. I was still learning about new companies in the automotive engineering space just last year, in and that too in this geographical location, and they could be cool companies to work at as well. So one on one side alerts, the other side networking and reverse engineering and mentor talks.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I know about Sushan. I think I've been following him since like 22 or 21, and I do have joined the community on Discord that he has, and he has been doing really amazing work out there, and he has joined, I think, it's a really worldwide network of designers. I wish I knew it earlier when I was studying architecture, but it's fine. But it's a really great community. I think I have attended the sessions that he has hosted before with other designers and people around. He's been doing really good work. I need to, I think, reach out to him and have a word. But yeah,
You can definitely reach out to him. If you don't see him responding, look at other people who are in the Discord channel that are in the SF market or are in the US market, and see where they are working, if they are working, and just build a relationship with them, again using the mentor talk strategy, and that will really help you.
yeah, I
Do
need
we
to
want to
start
touch
doing that.
upon do we want to touch quickly upon the cold messaging?
Yeah, yeah, let's get on
So
that.
cold messaging is two things, right? One is cold messaging people who have shared that, oh, I have a job available, and then cold messaging for networking. I think those are a little different. Which one do you want to talk about first?
I think I'll go with the second one right now because, like, I am not seeing much about the first half right now, at least on my feed.
Okay. So let's talk about the second one. What has been your experience so far cold messaging people?
So I think like I don't write like a I think initially I started writing like big paragraphs. Then I realized like if I was in that person's place, I am not gonna read it. So then I started just giving like the short elevator pitch that I usually say it out loud. Like, hey, I'm Pooja and this is like I've been doing, and I just attach my resume. That is it, and a portfolio link because that is usually like at least a first scroll that they would do if they actually go through it. So I just started writing a very short and crisp email like if you have any opportunity currently at the company, so like I would really love to like have a word or like just at least get on a call or discuss maybe 15 minutes. But I think my wordings maybe need to change is what I've been feeling right now, that maybe I should approach them in a way that, hey, like I can be a very good asset to your company or something like that. I'm just like this is something that has been going for the past few days in my mind. But yeah, I don't usually get responses from the cold emails that I've done. So yeah.
Why do you think that is? Well, let's think talk about the relationship account, right?
Mm,
And this is something that I learned from the Gottman Institute, and this is mostly for interpersonal relationships, but it works. This framework works brilliantly for professional networking as well. Let's say there is a relationship bank account between two people.
mm,
Can you make a withdrawal without having any deposit in the account? Like, can you make a withdrawal on a $0 balance?
mm,
When you send a message, with your resume asking for a role? Are you making a deposit or a withdrawal?
Deposit.
Why is it valuable to me if you are sending me a resume and asking for my time?
Mm, Maybe like my intention over here needs to change. Like, I know like at the back of my mind, even straightforwardly, like I'm asking, that I'm looking for a role. Maybe instead of saying that, I should ask something else, but like, how do I frame it? Maybe just build a connection, even even if it's like a cold email, but like at least build a connection before and then maybe have a talk about it.
First of all, you don't even know they have an open position or not.
Yeah.
And whenever somebody sends me their resume and says, "Oh, let me know if there are any opportunities," or "keep me in mind," or "Do you have opportunities at Beyond Grad?" What they are telling me is that, "Can you please do this work for me, even though you don't know who I am and how I can help you?"
Mm,
That's what it comes across. And especially when you are on the other side, who you already have a job or you already are working full time, or you're building a business, there's no way that I can help a stranger out there. So
mm,
that is a big withdrawal of my time. In fact, you are asking for more time out of me than you are spending just sending creating a canned message that you are copy pasting and changing a few things and then just sending that message. You're probably spending 2 minutes to do that, whereas you are asking me for 15-20 minutes at least to
mm.
look at your resume, to see if my company has opportunities, to then tell you that, okay, you there is an opportunity. You see where that's going.
Yeah, yeah, I see it.
So you have to lead with a connection first. What can be valuable still for me is helping a younger, let's say if I'm a industrial designer with years of experience, helping a younger industrial designer would be valuable for me, but you will have to make it easy for me to provide that value and
Mm,
make me feel good about myself, of about helping the next rung of designers that come through. And you do that by, one, if they are creating content, then be there in the comment section, be there, engage with their content. That's one way to add value. The other way to add value is to ask specific questions that can only be asked to them. So let's say if I am Sushant, for example, then
mm,
you need to ask me about how I built Young Designer India, or how I got an internship from being in India. How did I get an internship here? How did I convert that internship? And you can name the company. Oh, I see you were doing an internship here, but you got a full time job there. What were the two biggest things that you did to do that? You see the specificity that I'm talking about? That's what you
mm,
need to do to first build a connection. You can, once you are that specific, you can ask for people's time, 15-20 minutes over the phone, and give people an out. Say that, look, if it's a busy time, you no need to respond. I just thought that I really liked your profile. I thought that I could learn from how you've taken steps in your career, and just leave it at that. That will give you a better conversion rate into conversations, irrespective
mm.
of whether there is a job for you immediately or not in their company.
Got it. I think the one thing that you mentioned about, at least commenting on the post that, these people write. Sometimes I don't want to write just because like, I want to engage with them. I do comment when I do have like an original thought or something that I could relate to. That is when I usually comment even on LinkedIn. So I know it's very rare that I do, but I don't know, like sometimes little that I'm scared, like, what if someone says something, like if my opinion is wrong. So again, I know it's like a risk that I need to take, but yeah.
Again, I talked about the spotlight effect. I don't know if you were listening to what I was sharing with Sabi. Your
Yeah,
spotlight's
I just
very hot on you, but don't. There's no spotlight really. You can always summarize a post. You can always share your biggest takeaways if you don't have an original thought. And we can end on this topic that engaging publicly, especially when you have nothing to risk, that is a great way to put value back into a relationship, or put value into a relationship that you can make a withdrawal later. Now this does different people need a different level of account. So for example, let's say if I'm going for a million, somebody, I'm trying to build a relationship with a million followers on YouTube. I mean, I can build relationship year over year, and they might still not be willing to give me time, and that's okay. That's something that you wouldn't know, but a lot of people, if you build a relationship, you will get some value in return. There will be some deposit that you have made that you will be able to make a withdrawal in the future, and the same thing will happen when you will be the one that people need a withdrawal from. So
yeah.
uh, the same thing is going to happen. You are not going to give your time to everybody. You are going to see how valuable that relationship is before you are able to take action.
Yeah, I think I see that picture now, because that has happened with me as well. Like, people reach out to me sometime for advice, and then in the back of my head, if I'm busy, like I really sometimes didn't, I did not have time because I was working on weekends too. But I think I see that now. So I think I know what to do next.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll end here. Good
But
luck with the alerts. Good luck with targeting people. And and keep me posted. Keep me in the loop as you go through this
yeah,
journey.
yeah. Thank you so much, Varun, for your time.
Bye,
Yeah.
Pooja. All right. And next for me is Nanny. Nanny, how are you doing? Please give us all a quick introduction. And yeah, I still see that you're on mute, so you might not be probably, we might not be able to hear you.
Varun, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. How are you doing, Nanny? Am I
I'm
pronouncing your
good.
name correctly, by the way?
Yes, yes, you're doing right. From the Indian origin, I'm Naini.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
I am cool. Thank you so much for inviting to your live show. It's ad hoc, no preparation at all, but there is always a great thing about genuinity showing, right? When you're not prepared for the talk. So yeah, thanks a lot for that.
Hey, I think you may not be prepared to have this hot seat, but you are in it. And as soon as we chat, I think I can ask you questions, and that can bring
Oh,
your back end preparation to fore.
awesome,
So
awesome.
let's start with what you're trying to solve for right now.
Oh, awesome. So, yes, before that, I really want to give my quick introduction so that that could help people what exactly I'm trying to solve. So, I'm Nanny, guys, and I am in San Francisco right now. And past 10 to 12 years, I am in tech. And hailing from one country to another, I started my journey from India, then been to UK, then went to Dubai and Qatar, and now I'm in US. So yes, it's a lot of to and fro. And tech, I am a big passion of just an enthusiast to learn technology day-to-day basis and probably utilizing it for my use case also, not just 9 to 5 jobs. So that's one thing, because I can't do something which I don't like. I'm very stubborn person. So for that, this adaptation was very required because money was never only motivation for me to doing something. So I am a big believer of that. But yeah, just moving forward, other than this job thing, I have a big passion of traveling. I play tennis a lot, so yeah, tennis is another thing which just keep me going, be in shape, and be very positive. If any bad things happens in my life, that's the one thing I hit the ground and I feel little better. So yes, that's all about me, and I really want to say that this point of time, this is my sixth year in San Francisco, and it cannot be more exciting than this. Like AI boom, a lot of intelligent mind in the city, and yeah, if you go for cafe, you go for tech meetups. Everywhere people are just talking about AI, Gen AI, LMs, and whatnot. So before that last year I was feeling that, oh, who cares, something like that, because I recently I am on break. I'm not working for any company, but till last year, April, I was working for Motorola Solutions after finishing up my master's. I was there for 6 years. And, the traditional immigration mindset, it's like I was on a STEM OPT and then H1B. I saw a few years, but I really felt something is missing. I am not enjoying the way things are set up for myself. Plus, it was a lot of traveling because I came down in SF during the COVID. So that was the time company was started calling me there, and I felt like, oh, my life is here. I built so much and so on here, so it's hard. And especially tennis came in the picture. It's like when I'll go back in the snow season, I'm not able to play tennis outside. So that was including everything, that was also thing. And then I took a break. I felt like, okay, let me figure out visa, my job. Luckily, I have some money in my account, which I am allowed to exhaust for some time. And let's figure out the life, like what happens at the end. Like it's a gamble, right? Like you never know. So what is going to happen? But I really wanted to take a chance, which I'm still doing it. Nothing is figured out. Still, things are there, but definitely where I was 6 or 7 months back, I am totally very different person right now, including change of thoughts, mindset, the way I look forward the life, the way I meet the people, no pressures, no visa thing. So, so that those things definitely change your mind status. Thank God, I have been traveling a lot after my higher secondary schools finished up in India. So that has also changed my mindset that if you are living somewhere, you should not be in fear. And visa is the biggest thing which makes you uh, constrained while doing or following your passion sometime. And you can't do it because in interest of visa, you cannot switch or things too. But yeah, thank God, very childhood time, I was out of India, done things.
How did you solve that, Nanny? How did you solve your
So
immigration?
right now, last year, when of course I left my job, it was not easy because I was on H1B, and if you want to stay in this country, you only have the option to work for some employer who can sponsor your visa, right?
Right.
Was not ready to do that time, so I just switched back to F1 CPT. I
Okay.
thought like let's do that. And two things work out in favor. One, the college what I chose, luckily it is in SF itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, if I want to convert myself in classic PM to AI native PM.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the best time when I could be here. I could learn, do some boot camps or have some certifications, and same time I can pivot my career. So but before everything, I need to fix my visa because that's always in the back of mind and countdown begins, right? So as I told you, the college was the best choice to do that. Although I have to pay money, I have to do some of the background works, homeworks while doing that. But trust me, it's really cool when you really want to think something straight in your life, and somebody is not banging on your head like, hey, you have 60 days, you have 90 days, what you're gonna do after that, you
So
know?
you
So
are right
yes.
now on day one CPT. Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so are you working right now, or you're not working, you're just a full-time student?
I'm not a full-time student there, but there are a couple of things. The one, I am trying to establish my own startup,
Okay.
which is and still straight. I'm still just figuring out, thinking, ideations, everything's are going on there,
Okay.
and the other of different other things also, as I shared with you start of the talk, that still trying, still researching. I have seen that I have already been to 55 different countries, and none of them I have, posted as a content creation,
Mm-hmm.
which can help to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say I give you a small example. Somebody comes to me like, hey, I want to go for the date night. Do you know what place I should choose? Because in my friends, they know she goes out, she tries different restaurants and foods, she travels out. So I never thought that these things I can just, make it at one place and be a creative person in that way, which could be helpful to the person, and that could be helpful to me also, to just put my all thoughts together. So that is another thing, it is under exploration how to make things right, because I mentioned you, I am bad while doing this content creation thing. It requires patience, focus, and be sitting in front of computer. And I have none of patience,
So
but
I'm
I
I'm
am
hearing
learning.
a few things, right? Like from your
Sure.
introduction and what you're sharing, I'm hearing a few things. I'm hearing about how you're trying to go from a native PM to AI PM. I'm hearing about startups. I'm hearing about content creation. If there is one thing I could help you with today, what would that be?
First of all, thank you so much for sharing that framework, the resume framework, RARE framework. What you shared, I am so much love with that
Hmm.
framework. Definitely, it has helped me to make my resume a bit more readable.
Mm-hmm.
As being a 12 years of experience, sometimes you get very ambitious to put your content on one
Mm-hmm.
pager, but that hurt your content as well, because it's too many things, and being a busy audience, nobody wants to just go and scan everything at
Mm-hmm.
once. So thank you so much for putting that out. Now my resume seems much neater and clear, and I resonate that quite well. So, uh, I'm sorry, Varun. Can we go back to the question? Okay, how could you
Yeah.
help? So, yes, you have been already very helpful, at least in that part. So, that's all my problem. Another thing, what I shared with you, the content
Hmm.
creation. I haven't started on LinkedIn past couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
where I try to be every week, at least once or
Mm-hmm.
twice, can put something related to what I'm learning, what I'm studying, what I'm going through, the different blogs, or whatever the recent studies or things are happening, I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing. But I would love to know your thought. How could I make it more effective and more interesting to be sustainable for long term?
So there are multiple things that you're already talking about, like your transition from
Mm-hmm.
native PM to AI, your
Mm-hmm.
startup, your travel, tennis. I heard a lot of interests. Is there a
Mm-hmm.
specific
Thank you.
interest that pulls you toward content creation, or is it a pull towards content creation and you are willing to write about every part of the process?
So that's the challenging, like, I'm the person master of none. Feels like so many things, but whatever I shared with you, the travel, the food, and the tennis, and again the tech, these four things are my binding pillar for
Okay.
sure. Like, anything to talk about, I love to talk and put in hours in that. So it would be great if you could suggest how could I stitch them together to make a nice story, and then we can go from there.
I think I think there is a way to stitch being in the San Francisco ecosystem. By the way, my first trip, even after being 15 years in US and Canada combined, my first trip to San Francisco
Oh,
was last week. So I can totally feel what you were sharing there. So there is a vibe
okay.
that we can use to stitch everything together, like the SF tech scene,
Nice.
local travel destinations that your friends are already asking about, and then international travel, right? There is a way to stitch it. My question to you would be, is there some content creator who you're inspired by? Because a lot of time we are inspired by a creator doing something in one way, or not one
Mhm,
creator, maybe two or three
mhm,
creators. So if you think about
mhm.
how you are spending time, what which can name drop a few content creators that you're really inspired by?
Hey, for now, if I'll talk about, I have couple of them on LinkedIn
Okay.
only. I LinkedIn for my tech, like Lenny's newsletter. I
Yeah.
follow big time.
Yeah.
Aman Khan, I does follow him for different kinds of product channels. Akash Gupta, and then Ankit Shukla from Hello PM.
Mm-hmm.
I follow that guy also very recently. Very authentic and genuine. I like just reading
Mm-hmm.
it. But if you talk about the food and that, there are a couple of French and Italian Michelin chefs who I follow because I love to create some dishes at home also.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you don't want to spend same money in the restaurants, right? So, and I have a big appetite for all different cuisines. So I follow some Japanese chef also. On top of it, those names are not coming. It's so random, but as I told you, we were so busy in this 9 to 5 juggles, sorting out visas, sorting out this and that. This has never come in my forefront, like, hey, I love this thing also, and I should take out time to work towards this so that I could create my own personal branding. So that never hit me so far, yet last year when I really felt something is missing. World is doing, everyone is doing for themselves at least bit of it, 10%. Why I'm not doing that? And yeah, so that's how it came, and
So let's do
that's how
this.
it's still going.
Let's do this rapid fire. So I
Okay.
want you to, if you have a notebook around, just get your notebook.
I have.
And
I have.
okay, uh, can we'll do five posts, right? Five experiment posts.
Sure.
This is you just
Okay.
building that muscle of hitting publish. It does not mean that this is
Awesome.
your entire creator journey. It does not mean that you have to only write about this, right? I'm going to take each of your interests and I'm going to create five posts. Post number one
Sure.
will be about the people that you follow in this space. So that can be the technical space.
Awesome.
So give me three names,
Awesome.
give me why you follow them and why other people should follow them. That's
Awesome.
post number one. Post number two, as you're trying to go from a native PM to an AI PM, what were the three things you had to learn? That can be another post.
Aw-
All right. Let's talk about the date night comment, right? If your friend asked you about where they should go on date night in SF, what was the answer that you gave them?
Awesome.
That's post number three. Post number four is you talk about food and you follow these Michelin star chefs. Can you give me a picture, like a picture of the Michelin star chef and the same dish that you could recreated at home?
Oh, that's interesting. Very
So that's
interesting.
number four.
Awesome.
Now I'll ask you to give me the number five based on all your, maybe it is an international travel destination and what you should see there, or maybe it is tennis and what are the best tennis courts around in the SF area.
This area.
Um, Give me one. Give me whichever one that you want. And
I'm coming across two of them. The last one, what you shared, different tennis, because I do try a lot of public courts also. I
okay.
The place where I live, I have my 8 dedicated courts, but still, as you mentioned, I so love all these neighborhoods, public courts. Some of are in mountains, some of them down, like so nice terrain. I so love to just go and play there. So those are my weekend hobbies also. But on top of it, last year when I was traveling to Hawaii, I was in Maui, and that
Mm-hmm.
news has come in newspaper also. So I was in
Mm,
month of June end, and there was a wildfire, and
mm,
that night I was in Helenkala National Park, and
mhm,
we have been caught in fire actually. So we
mm,
all tourists there, we were there for sunset spot actually, and after we were trying to return, just come down in the city, and we got to know, okay, no one is allowed to just go, like we all are stuck. So whole night, 8 9 hours just up, we were stuck, like everyone is helping car, we were warming up with heaters and everything, all this fiasco happened. And then when we were coming down next day morning, we were really seeing, oh, how the wildfire goes, like entire national park is in complete flume. And from that day to almost for a month, they have closed that national park for the maintenance stuff and all. So that was my one of very vivid and very strategically fit in the mind, like, okay, this can also happen. So that I have a couple of pictures and things. I don't know how can I tie up, but one related to my travel adventure is also with me. I wish I could have posted that on YouTube or something, which I never did it.
that's okay. Everybody starts the journey in different points.
Okay.
I just recently spoke with a creator called Venkat Sai yesterday on the
Uh-huh.
Beyond Grad Show. He started his journey in his 20s, and I started my journey at 35. So we all start our creator journey at different points. I know somebody who started a podcast in their 50s. So
Mhm.
there is just no point where you can say, okay, you should start now or or later. What I want to end with is how you will define success in these five posts.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I have some ideas, but for these five posts, what will be success for you?
Oh, definitely these posts are, since these posts are authentic, no manipulations or anything, and they are very close to my heart. So they should resonate with the people, and it should be quite a helpful to the people. If they are finding it like Michelin star chef recreational dish at home, then they should feel that every time they should not go out and spend $400 for their prefix menu. Those are some experience which they can create it at home also, in quite a budgeted, and they could create some anniversary date night something at home. And if they are so fond of those different kinds of cuisine, so they can just have it in their personal space also, which I did it couple of times. When my boyfriend comes home, so I just try to just do that. And it's really so surprising for him, how could you do that? It's all because the one, I have so much passion or inclination about the food, and second, since I tried out those experiments. So yeah, that way I feel it should be helpful to the audiences if they are looking at the post.
I want you to have that as a North Star for how you write,
Hmm.
but I don't want you to use that as a success metric.
Okay.
The success metric for these five posts
Mhm.
should be publishing five posts. That's the only success metric for right now. Again, you are not trying to create a KPI for your entire content
Yeah,
creation journey.
yeah, yeah.
Right
Not
now, the biggest obstacle in this road is you
pushing the
yourself.
button.
Right. So the first success metric is the first five posts and hitting publish on five posts. Now, I want you to select what you would do when you hit success. How are you going to celebrate that?
I don't know. Just be. Probably I'll be very satiable state that I have done something consistent, because these things are not easy to be in your just consistent, and consistency is the key. Content creation is something you should be authentic and consistent with the time, so that people, if they start following you, because they look for your post, they really feel that, hey, Wednesday is here, his post I gonna see over coffee, so that's my personal thing also. So consistency would be my biggest satisfaction factor here.
And this is something that I've seen with a lot of uh, top performers, achievers, immigrants, that we don't celebrate. We don't celebrate our achievements as much as we should. So if I was in your shoes, I would either go
Okay.
get ice cream at my favorite spot or treat myself to a nice meal with a friend or give a friend a really nice treat. The other thing I can think of is if I was a tennis fan, I would buy maybe new strings that were helped with the performance of my racket. I was going to say racket, but racket is a bit expensive. But yeah. I mean, you see where my mind is going with
Mhm.
this is that you need to determine that you are making this big jump. What is going to be the carrot dangling on a string? And as soon as you reach the five post, that's something that you will treat yourself with.
I make sense. I'll treat with the ice cream, because other things world, I'm bad. I'm very spending person on myself. Oh, you name one situation and me, oh, let's go and get my nice shoes, tennis shoes, which I ordered day before yesterday. And it's so expensive, but I'm like, I deserve it. I play a lot, so I'm bad person in that. All the time I need some reason to treat myself. Otherwise I can't work. But ice cream thing is nice. It's been a while I did not. I'm going to Gradelli Square Pier 39 once these things are accomplished.
Very cool. We just
Thank
went
you.
there, got a ferry to Sausalito.
Sausalito?
Sausalito.
Sausalito?
Yeah, all of us LinkedIn creators came together and
I
we went
missed it.
there. It
I
was
missed
such
it.
a
I seriously missed it. I feel bad. Oh, I should
no, no,
have.
no. That was a different meetup. So there was a
Oh,
different
okay.
meetup that Suhan
Okay.
and I were hosting where we were calling other people in our network,
And
whereas
where
this
did you
one was
guys meet
just
for that?
creators.
Where did
We
you
did
guys?
that on Saturday afternoon. We did that on in uh, Alamo Park.
Oh, awesome. Not that far. No
Yeah,
problem. Next time I'm looking
I
forward.
wanted to see the SF skyline and take some pictures of that.
Exactly. From there we can. Problem. From next time I'll be in radar. I'm going to do that for sure.
Cool. All right. That this is great. I'm glad. I know that we've talked about job search,
Oh,
but I'm glad that we had this conversation as well. When you make the first post and when you make the fifth post, tag me. Tag me
I,
either in the post or the
I am.
comment. Sometimes LinkedIn does not send a notification when you are tagged.
Sure thing.
So if you don't see me responding, engaging with that post, just please send me a DM
I'll do
and I'll
that.
surely
I
engage with it.
definitely do that. Varun, I have two follow-up questions, a quick follow-up questions on that, what we
Sure,
discussed. So my first
sure.
follow-up question for you is, how frequent these posts should be? It should be nicely, tie up with each other. I really want to make that cohesiveness between them.
Would not matter. I want to reduce the cohesiveness factor for these five posts again. It
Okay.
won't matter, but I would wait a day at least
Okay.
or 2 3 days max. I
Okay.
don't want you to spend too much time, dragging this out in the future.
That's what
Again,
I'm
these five
asking.
posts are more for you.
Oh.
Yeah, you are writing with the audience in mind,
Hmm.
but this is definitely, I would say the first 30 posts are actually more for you. they have a lot more disproportionate return on investment for yourself as compared to the reader.
And my second question is LinkedIn, as we see, are totally different, like job search community, job posting, like all these career oriented community and space. Uh, do you think does it justify this my five post to be in there?
Hell yes.
Oh,
Don't let LinkedIn police stop you.
thank you.
Uh, Different people are using the platform in different ways.
Awesome.
If you think that that is the platform that you want to create in, maybe you are one of the first ones talking about these particular niches. What you will mostly realize is that the more you write about this, the more you will see other people who write about this topic and write about it in this way. Then you'll realize, oh, god damn, I mean, there are people who've been writing about things like this for a year. I'll give you a very specific example. A friend of mine called Nick, he lives in Chicago. He uh, wrote about a lot of engineering management, people management topics. Then
Mhm.
he started to write about having Airbnbs. So
Wow.
he has Airbnbs that he gives out. He's creating a new resort which has 3 cabins, which will be given out to Airbnb. So now he was talking about how his feed has a lot more people who are writing about Airbnbs. And he
Wow.
realized that this is such a huge platform. You are maybe not in that niche or not in that silo based on what you are telling me.
Mm.
You will find other people creating lifestyle content. And I use quotation marks to kind of just not in a in a way to say that that is not a good thing to do, but you will see more people. I don't know from top of my head who applies. Like one person, there's a person called Zach Wilson, and he's in the data space.
Mhm.
And
I follow him. Yeah.
yeah, so he writes about every topic under the sun, and he talks about moving to a different part of the world. So he comes to mind where he doesn't play by any pseudo rules that are on the platform. You just create what you want to create.
Thank you for backing me out with that actually, because I'm very rebellious person, but at the same time I try to follow some rules and compliances and try to be respectful about the place. But yeah, we can be out and just do our passion thing also, like nicely portrayal, which could be helpful to the audience. And who knows, I'm painting some more colors on LinkedIn post other than job search, job layoffs, and whatnot. People will be a bit more thrilled while seeing these options.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah.
you'll do good there.
Thank you. Thank you so much, actually. Oh, wow.
Bye, Nanny. It was great
Awesome.
talking to you.
Same here.
Bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
Varun.